So this video is for those set of people that did something and it wasn't successful, and because of that they've lost hope. They don't want to start again, they don't want to try again. Or maybe you were in a relationship and this person was like a dream come true. You were hoping and believing that they were going to get married to you, but it didn't turn out to be all you planned. You started a business, you were hoping, you borrowed money to start the business, or maybe you used your life savings to start a business. Maybe you made an investment and you were hoping that this business is going to turn out to be profitable. But to your shock and to your surprise, it didn't turn out as planned. You just lost your job. You're in a terrible state that you can't even think of the next thing to do. You can't try again. You've lost hope. Your heart is broken, and you're just thinking of what is going to be the best thing to do now. Now this video is for you. I need you to understand that every successful person, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, every global celebrity, everybody who is doing well in entertainment, in music, in engineering, everybody you admire today, they had a time in their lives when they thought that it wasn't going to be possible. They had a point in their lives where they never believed they would come out of something they were going through at the time. Never believed that where they are today was eventually going to be where they would be. So of course they may have the vision and all of that, but I need you to know that they went through some terrible phase in their lives too. And if you are in that phase now, it doesn't mean that all hope is lost. It doesn't mean that you should give up. I'm going to teach you how to start again, how to bounce back. You see, there was a story in the Bible about a man who lost his job. It's a very interesting story, and it was even told by Jesus himself, the story of the crooked manager. In Luke chapter 16, I'm going to read Luke chapter 16. I hope you follow me so that you can get everything that I'm going to share. If you apply everything I'm going to share, if you get it, if you understand it, I can assure you that you're going to bounce back. Not just bounce back, you're going to cover up for the losses you've had, the time you've wasted and all of that, if you can apply this thing I'm going to share with you. In Luke chapter 16, Jesus said to his disciples, there was a rich man who had a manager. He got reports that the manager had been taking advantage of his position by running up huge personal expenses. So he called him and said, what's this I hear about you? You are fired. This sounds like our normal employers today. Whenever they hear negative thing, anything negative that you're doing to their business, they are going to fire you. They may not even give you time to explain yourself. They're going to straight up fire you. Some companies don't even give query. Once you start misbehaving, they drop a termination letter and they fire you. This reminds me of a job I did. I was working in a firm, and because things were not going as planned, which was not even my fault, was because of a change in a software that people who were depending on built, and as a result, it wasn't working as expected. No query, no why is this happening like this, no explanation. And then they were like, we can't continue anymore because this is delaying. It sounds like what you would most likely experience, is that not? This was the story of this manager. Although this manager contributed to the outcome he got, he was spending his master's money recklessly. He was just incurring debt for the master and all of that. So the manager heard that he was not managing his money properly, and the master fired him. Now, what comes after this is what I want you to pay attention to. Verse 3 to 4 now. The manager said to himself, what am I going to do? You see, the first thing he did was to ask a question: what am I going to do? In the previous verse, how did the master hear about the mismanagement of resources by the manager? People told the boss. I'm suspecting that people must have seen the manager and they may have reported him to his boss. The manager never blamed those people for reporting him to his boss. This is very vital. The manager never blamed people who reported him to his boss. If it were to be some of us today, we would now be thinking, who must have reported me to my boss? Maybe this person, maybe that person, maybe the person I helped yesterday or 2 days ago. He never spent valuable time looking for who to blame. I guess this is why he became successful in the later part of the story. So the first thing he did was that he did not blame anybody. And if you're in a situation like this, you are faced with, maybe you're fired from your work, just like the manager, maybe someone ditched you, maybe a terrible thing happened, something you did not plan, a business did not go through, an investment never succeeded. The first thing you need to do is to accept responsibility, accept reality, and take responsibility. This is very important. Accept reality and take responsibility. The steward or the manager, he never wasted his time denying the crisis or blaming others. He never wasted his time denying, oh, I did not do it. He never did that. He accepted that he was about to lose his position and needed a new plan. To bounce back, you need to admit your mistakes and assess your situation honestly. This is very important. That to bounce back, you need to accept your mistakes and assess your situation honestly. The person you cannot lie to is yourself. I made a mistake. Maybe it was really your fault. Maybe it wasn't your fault. But accept the reality. It has happened. They've left me. They've married someone else. They've moved on. They fired me. Accept responsibility and move on. If there's anything that came from you, maybe your own mistakes, accept it. I did bad, like this manager did. He accepted the fact that he was mismanaging his master's resources and he took it. He never spent his time blaming people. You see, if you keep blaming people, you can never move on. Yes, they broke your heart. Yes, they were not faithful. Yes, they were the ones that made life miserable for you. Accept responsibility, accept reality, and move on. If you keep blaming them, you will never heal. If you keep blaming people, some people are still angry with their parents because they didn't send them to school. Some people are still angry with their ex over 10 years ago. You need to accept reality. They've moved on. You need to move on. Assess your situation, accept reality, stop blaming people, and move on. So what this guy did was to accept reality and move on. And the second thing he did in that verse, he says, what am I going to do? I have lost my job as a manager. I am not strong enough for a laboring job. I am too proud to beg. I have got a plan. This is very, 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 very important. What did he do next? Self-reflection and problem solving. Self-reflection and problem solving. What do I have now? I have lost everything. I have lost all the money I plan to use. I have lost friends. I have lost family relationships. What am I going to do? What do I have now? What can I begin with? Is an important question you need to ask yourself. Self-reflection and problem solving. Problem solving is when you've examined yourself, ask yourself the right questions that you can now go towards problem solving. Whether you're a business person, reflect. He evaluated his skills and weaknesses. He knew manual labor wasn't for him and he did not want to beg. He knew the things that he could do and the things that he could not do. right? This is very important, very, very important. Oh, this is where I am currently. What can I do from here? What can I not do from here? This manager was very intelligent. Instead of feeling hopeless, he looked for a practical solution. Instead of crying, instead of begging, instead of being depressed, he looked for a practical solution. After a crisis, identify what you can still do and leverage on your strength. After any crisis, you have to identify what you can still do and leverage on your strength. We are looking at the story of the manager that Jesus talked about. I've got a plan. Here's what I will do. Then when I turn out into the streets, people will take me into their houses. Then he went at it, one after the other. He called in the people who were in debt to his master. He said to the first, "How much do you owe my master?" He replied, 100 jugs of olive oil. Now the manager said, "Here, take your bill, sit down. Quick now, write 50. This seems to be very bad, as some people would say. So what did he do? Brought all the people that owed his master money and started changing the amounts that they were owing his master. And he did that for the people that they were owing. Verse 8 to 9. Now here's the surprise. The master praised the crooked manager. Wow. Can any boss do that today? He said the master praised the crooked manager. And why? Because he knew how to look after himself. This is a very important skill that if you want to survive, you need to have it. You need to learn how to look after yourself. You need to learn how to look after yourself. Your boss is not going to look after you. That's the truth. The best person who can take care of you is you. The best person that knows what you need is you. So the master praised this manager because he knew how to look after himself. Very, very, very important. What was the next thing he did? He built strategic relationships. Relationships are very, very important if you want to bounce back. Scroll through your phone. You may need to scroll through your phone. Who are the people that I know that can help me out of this mess? Maybe it's a job you lost. You may need to scroll through your phones or contact a friend. Do you know anybody who's hiring? Do you know somebody who has a business that I can, give my skills to, my services to? So he built relationship. The steward helped others to create goodwill. He understood that helping people now would secure his future support. Yes, relationships are powerful. Relationships are very, very important. You need to invest in meaningful relationships. When you are succeeding, when you are, everything is green for you, you need to learn how to build relationships because life is seasons. Life is in seasons, right? So what did this guy do? He looked for how to build valuable relationship. You may need to go through your phone, like I've mentioned, or ask a friend, right? Or just go and intern, right? Or just look for people, for those persons that maybe had their heart broken. We need to even look for a friend that can console you. Of course, you can cry and all of that, but at a point in time, you need family members who can help you. So he built strategic relationship. The next thing he did in that crisis was that he took immediate action. Yes, you can mourn. That's okay. That's okay. Something terrible happened to you. You can mourn, but don't mourn for too long. Don't mourn for too long. Take immediate action. Even though he was dishonest, his quick thinking earned respect. When faced with setbacks, act swiftly and wisely. Don't stay stuck in regret. This is very powerful. When faced with an unpleasant situation, act swiftly and wisely. Don't stay too long regretting. Don't stay too long regretting. Act swiftly. And finally, What did he do? He was resourceful and used what he had. So when you're in that phase, be resourceful, use what you have. You lost a job, you still have your skill. You lost a job, you still have your knowledge. You lost your business, you still have the skills in you, right? It was Jim Rohn that said that he was a millionaire by age 30 and he lost all the money, but he got the money back because he still had the skills in him. So you need to be resourceful and use what you have. I hope this has actually helped you in one way or the other to bounce back, to start again. Just like this manager, the Bible said that the master praised him after all he did. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you on the next video. Apply what you've learned and bounce back. Bye-bye.